Imagine a world where you never have to worry about your car. Imagine a world where you never have to worry about oil changes. It'll always have a full tank of gas in the morning when you need to drive to work, and in some cases, it can even drive you to work. This future is not terribly far off from where we're at now. Modern electric vehicles have made great strides in efficiency, in cost, and reliability, and they're quickly becoming a leading choice in vehicles that people are purchasing today and are gaining in popularity. And I believe that they are the car of the future, if you will. I'm an avid electric vehicle or EV fan and enthusiast and a bit of an amateur mechanic. And I personally believe that in every aspect, electric cars are an all around better means of transportation. Electric cars are better for the environment. They're more friendly to our lifestyles and more straightforward with their experience of ownership and maintenance. And they're also more sustainable means of transportation. With electric vehicles, one of the main draws that they have is that being that they're run off electricity, there's no harmful emissions that they have to do with an internal combustion engine. The exhaust that comes out of the car is harmful to the environment. And with electric vehicles, there's not even a tailpipe. So there's none of these emissions have to be worried about. A study was done recently in Poland that showed that over the entire lifespan of a car, be it electric or internal combustion, the total number of pollutants that were emitted, or the total weight of pollutants that were emitted or caused from the production of the vehicle all the way down to when the vehicle is recycled at the end of its life. The electric vehicle used just a little over half or caused a little over half of the pollutants that an internal combustion engine did. So they're much more friendly to the environment. They can be run off of clean energy sources such as solar or wind power, and they don't require any sort of fossil fuels or oils to be operated. They're more friendly to the environment. They're also more friendly to lifestyle. Whenever with an electric vehicle, you're able to charge it in your own garage. You never have to go to the gas station and wait in line to fill up a car. You never need to worry about if you've got enough gas to make it to work in the morning, because when you get home from work the previous day, you plug in your car, it charges overnight, and then when you wake up, you have a full tank of gas, if you will, and you've got more than enough to drive to and from work that day. Electric vehicles also require very little maintenance. There's features like regenerative braking, electric power steering, and AC systems that require very little to no maintenance, and there's no oil changes to worry about. You don't need to worry about very fluids. There's just tire rotations and basic maintenance on an annual scale rather than on a monthly scale. And they don't require you to take extra time out of your day to go and get gas. A lot of people worry about the range of an electric vehicle. A common term that's thrown around is range anxiety, which is basically saying that electric vehicles have such a short range that you fear that you might not have enough gas or enough energy to get from point A to point B back to point A. But with most modern electric vehicles, this isn't really much of an issue. The typical person in the United States drives 37 miles or less, according to the National Institute for Highway Traffic Safety. And most EVs that are sold nowadays have ranges well in excess of 250 miles. And so that, coupled with the fact that every morning it would have a full battery, there's very little to worry about in being able to go about your day as you normally would with enough fuel to do so. So not only are they better for the planet and better for us, but they're also more sustainable. They're able to provide this level of reliability and performance, and able to do so with no end in sight. They're far more sustainable than internal combustion vehicles because they don't rely on fossil fuels and oils, which are a finite resource that the world has. But with electric vehicles, this isn't as much of a worry because they are not reliant on these. They're also far more efficient than internal combustion engines. An electric vehicle is able to travel the same amount of distance and use anywhere from 15 to 25% of the total amount of energy that it would cause for a gasoline car. So with a typical gas car, you might get roughly 30 miles to the gallon of gasoline, and the equivalent of an electric car, you typically would get between 115 to 125 miles per gallon, to put it into perspective. So they're far more reliable, they're far more inexpensive to operate, they're more friendly to the environment, and they're just all around a better option for us and for the world. As time moves on, the world is constantly changing and things are updating, and electric vehicles are the future. We are on the cusp of a major change in how we get around and how we are able to transport ourselves. And as time goes on, the technologies will only improve and become better. And I believe, and I've shown today, that not only are electric vehicles the future, but they're also a better and brighter future than internal combustion engines. And I hope that you can see the same as well.